nobody knows how strong they are until they have to be strong. And I think that, I mean, in hindsight, I can say this to you with a clear head. But years ago, even some days I have really bad days and it's really hard and I'm really frustrated and I'm really angry. And then you just have to, I think, take a minute. I don't think that we're dealt more than we can handle. I was 15 years old. I remember waking up feeling like sick, like I'd never felt before. I had a headache and I was shaky and my eyes weren't quite focusing and I was nauseous. I felt like I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't focus. I felt out of body all of a sudden. About 5 minutes after being there through Emerge, they told me that I had hepatitis C with no testing, no anything, just based on physical appearance. My skin and eyes both had turned a very putrid shade of yellow. And I just remember hearing my parents say, "What are you talking about? How is that possible? You haven't run any tests. Like, how can you just come to this conclusion? We don't accept that. You need to get her tested." And they very quickly said, "Listen, we don't have she needs blood transfusions immediately. We don't have enough to keep her safe here." All of my levels were dropping really rapidly. My antibodies were almost at zero. And it took, almost 2 full weeks of testing, of really painful testing, really painful blood transfusions. And then they told me I had acute hemolytic anemia. Means that my red blood cells pretty much attack themselves before they're able to reproduce. So I'm susceptible to all sorts of infection, illnesses. And this kind of came out of nowhere because up until then, I had been pretty healthy. Now that I've been living with PI for almost 17 years, it's really made me a better person, but it took a long time to get there. Traveling was really difficult because I had to be around for my scheduled treatments, which were non-negotiable dates. You had to be there. It made work really difficult at certain jobs because the days that I had to go for treatment, I would miss at least a day's work every month, like clockwork. It was something that I kind of felt ashamed of when I was younger because it's a competitive world and it was something that I hid a lot. But I think it just made me really nervous. It made me not want to take some risks that I think I would have taken had I been dealt a different hand. A really common side effect or common occurrence with PI patients is depression and anxiety, mental illness. It kind of comes hand in hand sometimes with dealing with this kind of unknown. And when I was younger, I was really stubborn about it. And I tried to pretend like it wasn't there. And it will fester. And it did in me. And there were months where I didn't get out of bed. And I wish that I had been brave enough to speak with someone about it sooner. It kind of takes this weight off your shoulders that you didn't know you had. My life's dream, if I'm so fortunate to ever make it come true, is to run a dog rescue. Just nurturing something that has been forgotten. The thought of being able to help things that can't help themselves just really, it does something for my soul.